Hard cheese, my boy, hard cheese.
I don't know, Uncle George.
You need a bit of time on the 19th, my boy. That's what you need.
I just seem to get worse rather than better.
Oh, bound to happen. All of us go through bad patches.
Suppose so.
How's the legal stuff coming along?
Not bad. Started on Roman law today.
Oh. You know, you don't have to stay at that hotel, you know?
I know. Quite honestly, if a chap has to swat Uncle George, a boring hotel is the best place to do it.
How's old Beersdale these days?
Well, he still seems to think he'll make a solicitor out of me one day. He's been very kind, matter of fact.
Really? Beersdale?
Yeah. First thing every morning when I get into chambers, he takes me through some of my stuff.
Well, frankly, I am not surprised.
What?
That your golf's not all it should be.
What?
Well, I mean, here you are, getting up at crack of dawn, doing half a dozen holes before breakfast, racing off to the city, braving old Beersdale before coffee, dashing back here to fill yourself up with Roman law and hotel stodge in the evening. Plain as the nose on my face, my boy. You're overdoing it.
Oh, I don't know, my iron shots.
Oh, your iron shots are all right. It's your swing. Straight left arm, follow through, and don't look up. Afternoon, Colonel. Bill.
Don't you ever feel a bit odd?
How's it?
This place, you know, being the old family home. It's all right for me, I never lived here, but it must be jolly odd for you, standing here propping up the bar like an old Tom, Dick or Harry. Oh, I say, I'm sorry.
Hmm? Oh, see what you mean. Old Harry. No. I mean, I couldn't bear all that noblesse oblige. How's your father? Could you? Tenants, rents, good works. Well, I've got a comfy village, golf club on the doorstep, decent claret to sup in the evening. Lord of the manor, what? Oh, no, thank you, Jack. Oh, I consider myself among the most fortunate portion of humanity. And I drink a toast to the man who gambled away the family estate and left me in the enviable position I find myself today. My grandfather, Mad Harry.
Isn't there some sort of scandal to do with him?
I should say, confessed to murder on his deathbed.
Murder?
I forget the whole story. Some girl mixed up in it, I think.
Why Mad Harry?
Guilt, they say, drove him out of his mind. Oh, good Lord, there must be more cheerful subjects than my homicidal grandfather and your golf. Jenkins, sane enough family in the whole. My only aberration was in marrying your Aunt Max.
All right, cousin Florence. Now, wasn't there some dark secret to do with her, too?
Nothing dark about it, dear boy. She eloped with the local blacksmith.
Sorry, Major Hartington.
Oh, hello, Dodge. Know me nephew Jack, of course.
Oh, yes. How do you do? What a felicitous encounter.
Oh?
My catching you, you know.
What?
Yes. I've just managed to secure a very fine Isaac Walton in a superb Riviere binding. It's quarto, no foxing, and very slight rubbing. Also, splendid Jorrocks with full-plate aquatints. Again, quarto and full calf.
Ah.
Now, they'll be arriving within the next few days, so, well, perhaps I might bring them along to you?
No good. Joining the wife in Italy tomorrow.
Ah. Oh, well, perhaps I might leave them for you to examine at your leisure.
Yes, you could. Yeah, leave them with Mrs. Emmett.
Oh, right.
Don't be put off by her. She only looks like a till of the hand.
Good afternoon, Major Hartington.
Now, Dr. Levington.
I think I found that J.W. Dunn that you were looking for. Quite a stroke of luck, as a matter of fact. An experiment with time, that was the one, wasn't it?
That chap's staying in my hotel. Who is he?
Dr. Levington. Interesting, Co. Down here to write a book or something. Dodge brought him along for a sherry a few weeks ago. Wanted to show him my collected blick, don't you know? You know what he calls himself? Doctor of the Soul.
Doctor of the Soul? Sounds a bit crackpot to me.
Now, just a minute, my boy. There are more things in heaven and earth, what? Well, I mean, take that fella, Gandhi, for a start. Bow-legged little grasshopper. Hello, where's our tea? You know, Mrs. Emmett's really gone to pot ever since your aunt went off to Italy. Ah. Now, where was I?
Dr. Lavington.
Huh? Oh, yes, Gander. Well, now, you may think old Lavington's a bit odd, my boy, but I've had the benefit of visiting the East. Now, if you told a sensible man that Britain might lose her Indian empire to a half-naked faker in a pair of bifocals, whose only possessions were a cashmere shawl and the rather inadequate clothes he stood up in, he'd never have believed you, would he? Hmm? But it looks increasingly likely. Power of the spirit, my boy. Where is our tea?
Power of the spirit?
Yes, never underestimate it. In Madras State, I've seen chaps walking across 30 foot of red-hot coals, quite slowly and deliberately. And not only did they suffer no pain, but their feet weren't even scorched. Power of the spirit, my boy. Oh, there you are, Mrs. Emmett. Thank you very much.
Thanks for the tea, Uncle. Have a good holiday. Love to Aunt Mag's.
Hate holidays. Stupid idea. Boats and trains and foreigners.
Oh, thanks for the game. I'll try to be a bit improved for you after your trip.
Straight left arm, follow through, and don't look up.
You all right?
Yes, of course.
You didn't cry out just now?
No, why should I?
Oh, I see. Well, where did it come from?
What?
A cry. You must have heard it. It came from somewhere just near here.
A cry?
Yes.
I heard nothing at all. Are you sure?
Yes, of course, yes. It came from somewhere just near here.
What sort of cry?
It was a woman screaming blue murder.
Blue murder? What is blue murder? Oh, I think somebody is playing a joke on you, monsieur. Oh. Excuse me, my father, he isn't well. Good morning, sir.
Young man,
Yes, I'm sorry.
your coat collar turned up at the back.
I say thanks, officer.
Yes, sir.
Oh. No, I don't know, Agnes. Porridge and toast, nothing cooked.
Right here, sir.
Evening, Mr. Huddle. Thanks.
Ah,
Do you mind if I...
no, yourself. You were looking for anything in particular?
What? No. Really looking to see if anything happens around here.
Ah, well, it depends what you mean by happens, really. The sailor work happened last Saturday, and there's a dance happening at the church hall this Saturday, refreshments provided. But you'll have to wait until Thursday for full-blown fete. That sort of thing, mean?
No, not exactly what I had in mind.
Oh.
I mean, look at the national papers.
Oh, yes?
Full of news.
News?
Well, sport and crime and scandal.
I wouldn't get into our local rag anyway, stuff like that. Well, not as such. They tries to keep that sort of thing out, the carrion Argus. Lowers the tone of the area, like.
Well, I obviously chose the right place. Ideal for a holiday.
Ah, a holiday. That sacred car of our industrial age.
Well, more of a working holiday, really. Dr. Lavington, isn't it?
How do you do?
How do you do? I'm Hartington. You know, lots of golf to offset the revision.
Ah,
You see, I'm an article clerk. Got my exam soon.
I thought you were working rather too hard.
Too hard? Why do you say that?
It shows.
Does it?
Well, a certain abstraction at breakfast this morning.
Oh, I thought, as a matter of fact, that you were on holiday here.
No, not quite. It's true I still practice in holes now that I've left Harley Street. For those of us lucky enough not to be involved in the industrial process, the change of activity should be sufficient to renew the spirit, if you don't overdo it. No, I'm here to write a book.
Uncle George doesn't like holidays either. Hope he lasts the quarter or get frightful stick from my Aunt Mags.
Ah. I suppose you're right, though. For the renewal of the spirit, it's an excellent spot. Peace made manifest. In terms of dramatic incident, luckily, it's a desert.
Mademoiselle!
Yes? What is it?
Oh, mademoiselle, you heard it this time anyway.
Oh, I've heard nothing.
Well,
Nothing at all.
but just now. I mean, you must have done.
Are you all right, monsieur?
What do you mean, all right?
Well, are you feeling all right? I mean, have you been unwell?
Don't overdo it. Only young once.
I thought you were working rather too hard.
Are you feeling all right, monsieur? Are you feeling all right?
Murder! Help! Murder!
Yes, thank you.
Excuse me, Dr. Lavington. Do you mind if I join you for a moment?
I'd be delighted. Sit down.
Thank you.
Well, what can I do for you?
Just an idea I had. You know I told you I came down here to swap for my exams?
Yes, although from the first moment I saw you, I thought you were an unlikely candidate for a place like this.
No, my uncle lives not far away. If I feel like some home comforts, I can always... Anyway, we both like golf. And that's how I relax, you see, playing golf with him. But he's away for a week or so, and I was wondering if... you do play golf, do you?
Well, to call it play is perhaps an indulgence. I struggle, but yes, I know the rules. I lack the requisite equipment, however.
That's no problem. They have spare clubs for visitors.
Ah.
Well, I thought. I mean, I just thought, well, there I am every morning. But only if the idea appeals.
I'd be delighted. You always manage to get the 8:56, don't you? Shall we say 7:50?
Is 7 too early for you?
I shall look forward to it. As a matter of fact, I've struck a small difficulty in the argument of my book. Perhaps a little fresh air and exercise might put my thoughts together. But I warn you, you must be prepared to run out the handsome winner.
No, really, sir.
Good second shot of yours, right by the green.
Thanks.
Do you think this is all right?
Yes, I'd say so. Good shot.
Oh, bad luck.
I think it'll be a good day when this mist clears. You're on the next hole, huh?
Murder! Help! Murder!
You got a 4 surely at the last hole, didn't you? So, what was all that about?
I was going to ask you the same question.
Well,
You're a doctor, aren't you?
yes.
Go on, then.
I know very little about you. The only thing I do know is that I have recognized in you all the signs of a man under considerable stress. I must confess a fascination to what that stress could be.
I can tell you easily enough. I'm going off my chump.
Really?
I tell you, I'm going mad.
How curious, how very curious.
Oh, that's what it is it? My God, you doctors.
Oh, come, my friend. To begin with, although I've taken my medical degrees, I don't practice conventional medicine.
Oh, and what do you practice? Witchcraft?
Oh, let's just say that I'm not a doctor of the body, of the soma.
Or the mind?
Now, that's much nearer. Although I like to use mind to describe the mechanical, the rational aspects of thought.
Oh, yes, the soul. Uncle George told me, doctor of the soul.
I hear the disparagement in your voice. Well, what is a man to do? I've explained why I don't use the word mind. Psyche has been appropriated by the followers of the Viennese school. Brain is a description only of the physical organ. Now, soul suits me, since it's a word which transcends religions and philosophies. But you may call it what you like, provided that the word you choose denotes that principle of consciousness, of self-awareness, which is deemed to be independent of this bone house, the body.
All right.
Now, shall I tell you what struck me as being curious?
Go ahead.
It is how such a well-balanced and normal young man of yourself could suffer from the delusion that he was going out of his mind.
Well, I am.
Ah,
I've got a screw loose.
Forgive me for saying so, but I don't believe it.
Look, I suffer from delusion.
No, sorry, can't be done. Not
I
you.
tell you, I hear things that nobody else hears.
Ah, well, that's quite different.
Sorry, beg your pardon?
That's different. That may not necessarily be a delusion.
What?
It could as easily be evidence of a sense refined beyond the ordinary.
I don't understand.
One man in 1,000 can see the moons of Jupiter. But until Galileo made a telescope, nobody believed they were really there. Certain men can smell water in a desert miles away. Dogs can hear sounds well beyond human hearing. The sense of touch in some blind people is so refined that it enables them to perceive the color of the objects they handle. I could go on.
Yes, but...
All I'm saying is that we do not call the possessors of these refined instruments mad.
What do we call them?
Must you go to the city today?
Old Beersdale promised to take me through torts. I'm quite bad at torts.
Then breakfast is a necessity. Get changed. I'll meet you downstairs in 10 minutes. Then we can decide whether you have grounds for believing you're going mad, and we can decide whether or not to lock you up afterwards.
There it is. I think I've told you everything. What I can't understand is why this morning it should come at nearly 7:30. Almost 5 minutes late.
Yes, that is odd. What's the time by your watch?
8:25.
Well, that's simple enough, then. Your watch is fast. Mine says 8:22. Now, that's a very interesting and valuable point. In fact, it's vital.
In what way?
Well, an obvious explanation would go something like this. On the first morning, you did hear some such cry, possibly a silly joke on somebody's part. Then on the subsequent mornings, at the same time, you merely suggested to yourself that you heard it.
Yes.
Yes, but that explanation wouldn't work. Because if it was a case of autosuggestion, you would have to have heard the cry when you knew or thought you knew it was 25 past.
So where does that leave us?
Well, the only theory I believe fits the facts so far is that the cry locates itself very precisely in time and space. The place being in the vicinity of the cottage, the time being 25 past.
Excuse me.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, but why me? I don't believe in ghosts. All that spook stuff, spirits rapping on and so on. As far as I'm concerned, it's a lot of rubbish. Why should I hear that damn thing?
It's a curious fact that many of the best mediums are made from confirmed skeptics. It isn't by any means the case that those who are interested in occult phenomena as those who experience manifestations of it.
Yes, but what are we going to do?
Well, you're going up to the city to struggle with torts, at which you are quite bad. If you hurry, you'll manage to catch your train. I'll meet you in the Dragon's Head at 6.
Yes. Look, just one thing.
What's that?
Well, the girl.
What about her?
I'm sure she's, well, all right, you know.
You didn't tell me she was pretty. Cheer up. If I'm not mistaken, the mystery started well before her time.
You mean you actually went to the cottage? You spoke to her?
Yes, and you were quite correct. The young lady is most attractive. But the visit to the cottage was not the most informative period of my day, although I did establish 2 things.
Yes.
That Mademoiselle Marchot, that's her name incidentally, and she's French, comes from Tours, Félise Marchot. Her father's very ill.
Oh, yes, I know, I heard.
I established that the cottage possesses a reputation locally, and that Mademoiselle Marchot is frightened of something. And it's not merely her father's impending death.
What is she frightened of?
I don't know. I couldn't interrogate the poor girl. After leaving them, I went to the local bookseller.
Mr. Dodds?
Yes, luckily he's something of a local historian, or I might have taken several days over it.
Over what?
Over the history of one of your family. Sir Harry Hartington? Mad Sir Harry, as I gather he's known hereabouts?
Yes.
Well, what do you know about him?
Well, he's supposed to have confessed to murder. Some girl or something. Uncle George was rather vague, you know.
He did confess on his deathbed that 30 years before, he had murdered his mistress.
Say him again.
Please. Yes, I'll bring it over to you, sir.
Murdered his mistress? But what else did he find out?
Nothing much immediately, merely the outline of the story. There was a hint that the girl was either being paid by Sir Harry or that she had been blackmailing him shortly before she disappeared. Anyway, she seems to have had money. And one fine day, she vanished off the face of the earth. There were a lot of woods around here then. Foresters, charcoal burners. Anyway, the woods were searched for days with no result. She was never seen or heard of again until your grandfather's confession. Thank you, Mr.
So we know nothing else?
Oh, yes, we do. And this is incredible. She was last seen in the place where she lived, which was the Marshal's cottage.
Excuse me, sir. Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt. I wouldn't normally do it for the world, naturally.
What's up, Agnes?
Well, there's this young person wishes to speak to you. She's a foreign person. Calls herself... Please, Marsha. Anyway, it's urgent, she says.
Where is she?
Well, put her in the lounge so she can speak to her confidential.
Right. I'll come at once.
I'll just put these books in my room and collect my pipe, if you don't mind. You go and make the girl at home.
Mademoiselle,
Monsieur.
may I offer you something? A glass of sherry? Coffee, perhaps?
Thank you, no, monsieur. I must not stay long. My father...
Of course. Thank you, Agnes.
I owe you an apology, monsieur.
I'm sure you don't.
Oh, yes, I do. I doubted you, and I am repaid. I've also heard the voice. The cry.
Oh, thank God. You know Dr. Lavington, don't you?
Mademoiselle?
Yes. But I didn't know...
It's all right. I've told Dr. Lavington all about it. About what I heard. About what we heard.
Yes, I've heard it too.
May I ask when, mademoiselle?
This morning. I was in the garden. It was nearly 7:30. I looked for you, but...
Yes, I didn't play this morning.
What did the voice say?
Murder. Help, murder.
That's it. You see, Doctor?
Go on, mademoiselle.
Must I?
I want you to tell me everything.
Well, at first I did not... Oh, how would you say... put it together with the dream. But all day I
dream?
thought...
What dream?
Oh, it's difficult to explain. I dream, and yet I do not dream. The first time, I do not remember waking, but I was awake. There was great fear. In my nostrils was a smell, a strong smell, like a bonfire after a rainstorm. I got up, searched the house, and there had been no fire. The next time it was a true dream. I am in the cottage. Again there is the smell. But now I'm dreaming the smell. A girl, dressed in old-fashioned clothes, stands before me. At first I see only her face. There is beauty there, but much pain. Much pain. Then I see that she's holding out towards me a tall jar.
Jar? Yes.
I look at the jar. It's beautiful. Blue pattern with flowers and fruits.
And then?
I don't know. I remember her face, which is pleading with me. And I remember my own fear. Mostly I remember the fear.
How long has this been going on, Jose?
It started a few weeks after we moved into the cottage. Now I dread the night.
I think you should escort Mademoiselle Marchot home.
Yes.
I can hardly tell you not to worry. I don't want to trivialize your fear. All I can tell you is that you are no longer alone.
Please, don't come any further because of my father. You understand?
Of course. I'll stand and watch until you're indoors.
I think you're a good man.
Oh, terrific, yes. Will I see you again tomorrow?
I want to hear what your doctor friend has to say, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Then I shall see you tomorrow. Goodbye.
Au revoir.
Damn.
You called, sir?
What?
Oh, yeah.
This coffee, Agnes?
Yes, too hot, sir.
Yes.
Oh, as usual. Do you know, I keep telling them. Should I take it away?
No, leave it.
It's no bother, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, young man. You're early.
Decided not to play, matter of fact.
Very sensible.
Actually, I've been trying to remember. You know that jar the girl was talking about?
Oh, the one the woman in the dream was holding.
Yes. I think I've seen one like it before.
Really?
I can't think where. Huh. Still, I've got conveyancing today.
Conveyancing, eh?
I'm not bad at conveyancing.
Good.
Got it!
Yes?
Hoped I'd find you here. It's what we were talking about this morning. Mr. Hubble, a pint, please, and what's yours?
Small whiskey, if you'd be so good.
A small whiskey. The blue jar. Remember?
Ah, yes, the blue jar.
Yeah, you see, Uncle George has got one in his hallway.
Has he really?
Is there something wrong?
No. Well, it almost Dodds is a mine of local information. Buried treasure and goodness knows what I got from him this morning.
Really?
Yeah, remember I told you there's some charcoal burners in the woods round here?
Yes.
Well, they used to move through the woods like gypsies, of course. But it seems they had one main camp near the village. The last of the charcoal burners left to join up 20 years ago now. And the campsite was turned over to new housing. When they were digging the foundations for the new houses, they came across the charcoal burners' treasure, a tin box, lots of coins, bits of gold jewelry, and most importantly, a bag of Victorian gold sovereigns, worth hundreds today.
Yes. Look, I really think this jar might be important.
Huntington, I'm afraid I told you an untruth a minute ago. Something is the matter.
What?
I went to see the marshals this morning. I'm very worried about that girl. I think she might well be in danger. Oh, no, not danger as most people would interpret the word, but danger all the same.
Power of the spirit, my boy.
Beautiful. Blue pattern with flowers and fruits.
Never underestimate it. Power of the spirit.
I can remember my own fear. Mostly I remember the fear.
You got a 4, surely, at the last hole, didn't you?
Just a cup of coffee, please, Alice. I'm awfully late.
All right.
I overslept. Thank you.
I've been a complete fool.
What?
Well, not listening to you mostly, not seeing what was under my own nose. I think the key to the whole thing might be the jar.
I was trying to tell you that.
Yes, I know, and I apologize. I was following a theory of my own, if you remember. I think it is essential that all three of us meet this evening.
Yes, all right. Absolutely. At the pub?
Yes.
Good, good. Look, I'm sorry, I really must dash. Will you organize it?
Of course.
Good.
Let us suppose the events were as follows. Mad Sir Harry paid the charcoal burners not only to do away with the girl, but to get rid of the body also. That would account for the treasure, would it not?
Yes, indeed. And the smell of burning in your dream.
Yet the single most persistent feature of Mademoiselle Marshall's dream was the unaccountable smell of burning.
Yes, but what does it mean?
The meaning eludes me at the moment. But some things I do know. The shedding of innocent blood is at the center of the most powerful myths in the history of the occult. And not only that, the voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. I believe that this girl's blood cries to us now. It has waited a long time. It has at last found two sensitives, yourself and Mademoiselle Marshall, through whom to make the link.
Now I see.
Yes, but why the blue jar, monsieur? Of all things in the dream, I seem to see it most clearly of all. What is this thing?
What do you think, Huntington?
Well, I'm pretty sure there's one just like it at my uncle's house. Could well have come from the family home, do you see? Though what it could have to do with this whole thing beats me.
Well, it could be the key to what we don't know. A key is meaningless in itself, but can be the means to great things. The blue jar could be some link in the pattern of energies which has allowed you to hear this girl's voice. That voice requires something of us, and I believe we should listen to whatever it is.
Yes, but how?
Can you get hold of the jar?
Of course. Uncle George won't mind. He only uses it as an umbrella stand. In any case, he's on holiday.
What do you believe we can do, Doctor?
Lavington, lay to rest a perturbed spirit.
If only that could be.
I think we should try this out as soon as possible, Doctor. I'll run down to the house and get it straight away. Shall I meet you both at the cottage?
Yes, good man.
À bientôt, mademoiselle.
À bientôt.
Jack!
Oh, Uncle George.
Oh, Jack, dear boy, what on earth are you doing? Can I help?
Uncle George, you're back early?
Funked it, I'm afraid. Dreadful crossing. Lost a perfectly good Pullman breakfast to the fishes. And the sight of Calais and the smell of that awful French tobacco and the sound of that pansy language all too... Hello? Where on earth did you find that? Should I thought I'd lost it. No, had to rest up in Paris for a couple of days. Sent a wire. Indisposed. Awful card, I'm afraid, and I suppose your aunt will wreak her vengeance, but there we are. I say, you look terrible. What's up?
It's a long story.
You look as though you need a brandy. Come in this den and tell me all about it. My God, Jack, that is a pretty rum tale. You think there's something in it, do you?
Yes, I do.
Well, what did I tell you? More things in heaven and earth, eh? Now, this gal of yours, pretty, is she?
She's beautiful.
French, you say?
Yes.
Well, when you've sorted this lot out, you better get down to some work. Looks as though you'll have to pass your exams after all. Supporting aged foreign in-laws doesn't exactly come cheap, you know. Well, lad, take that damn pot of yours and keep your rendezvous.
Oh, I say, thanks awfully, Uncle George.
I say, nothing dangerous in it, is there?
No. No, this chap Lavington knows exactly what he's doing.
Oh, that's all right, then. Off you go.
Thanks awfully.
Good evening.
Yeah.
You've come. I was worried.
I wouldn't let you down.
No, I know. Listen, we must be quiet. My father, he's asleep upstairs. We must not wake him.
No, of course.
I've made some coffee for you.
Well done, Hartington. Now, let's see if Mademoiselle Marchot can identify it.
It's all right. We're all in this together.
Sit down, mademoiselle. We will need all our strength, all our clarity of mind, all our resources of will. Hartington, we've been drinking strong black coffee, and I suggest you do too. It may be a long session. It will require great concentration from us all.
Yes, of course. Are you sure you're all right?
Yes. And you?
Yes. Sorry, that's a bit hot for me. Shall we?
Take your time.
You haven't told us yet what we have to do.
What we have to try to do. We may not succeed.
Nevertheless, we must try.
Oh, yes, we must try. All our energies must combine in the corporate purpose of sensing what there is in this place. A pulse of energy, a faint residue of spirit, half evaporated by time, gathering itself into a voice.
Yes, I see.
Feliz. Feliz.
Excuse me a moment. My father.
Of course.
Try to make sure he is comfortable, mademoiselle. It is essential we are not interrupted.
Oui, bien sûr. Je viens, papa.
Right. I'm ready.
Sit down, mademoiselle.
Shall I?
Yes.
I don't mind admitting I'm a sight apprehensive.
If we can lay this poor girl's spirit to rest, she will be eternally grateful. Right, we shall begin. Place your hands over the jar like this. As the eyes close, unwilled, let them close. Good. As the eyes close, feel the initial drift of the spirit. Help it, let it go. Drift on the wind. Ride your breath. Threads on the air. Alert. Silent. Seeking. We call to you through your chosen medium to to reveal yourself through one of us. We, the triangle which makes the circle, the star on the void, six-handed, embracing nothing. We are one and ready. Use us. Use us. Use us.
And another one. Very nicely illustrated in the manner of the great Thomas Buick. With some of the finest woodcuts achieved outside the workshop of that finest of masters, in fact. There's an amusing chapter on eider ducks and shovelers.
Rooks, damn it, rooks.
Rooks?
Rooks. The voice disturbed the rooks. Jack described it to me plain as day. I knew there was something wrong. You don't disturb rooks with voices in your head. There's some sort of deception going on. But the question is why, Dodds, why? Now, look, you're an educated sort of chap, Dodds. Perhaps you could make some sense of it.
Yes. Well, yes, well, I'd be delighted to try.
Oh, good, man. Now, look, it all began with my nephew coming down to this neck of the woods to swat for his law exams, you see, and practice his golf.
We are ready. We are one and ready. We have reached the hiding places of time and are ready. Without mind, we are ready. Without will, we are ready. Like your vessel, we are void. Choose one of us. Choose. 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 I thought he'd never drink the damn stuff. Quick, ropes. He must have a constitution like an ox. Huh. I was beginning to run out of mystical mumbo-jumbo.
Never mind. We've got it. Pierre! Pierre! Pierre!
Ça y est?
Oui, tout va bien.
Très bien, ma petite.
Oh, Pierre! Tout est prêt?
Sure.
Oh, yes, completely. All this talk about woods. Now, there were no woods around here in Victorian times.
What?
No, the woods that you see now, they're recent. Now,
yes, but
I should think that Lavington invented it to, to credit the girl's story.
You mean she's his accomplice?
Yes, there must be a key to it somewhere. Well, it isn't the woods, so it can't be the gypsies. Could be the jar, possibly.
Jar?
It's the jar. It's the blue jar.
Why? Why?
Because it has no real connection with the story. Well, don't you see? All attention has been focused on the ghost story. The blue jar's only been added as a sort of footnote. Yes, in my opinion, Lavington is up to something, and it's something to do with that blue jar.
Yes, but it's only an old pot we keep umbrellas and walking sticks in.
But is it? What do you know about it?
Well, not much. I mean, it came out of the family home. It's been stuck out in the hall ever since.
Well, has Lavington seen it?
You brought him here for sherry.
Oh, did I?
I've got the padwood up in the spare room, as a matter of fact.
Have you, indeed?
I'll go and get it.
Come on, you two. There's a lot to be done.
Relax. He's asleep until the next day.
Yeah, that's not the point. Some servant may notice it's gone. Not a minute to waste. Got the bag? Check the ropes.
Cheng what?
Hua. Cheng Hua. It's 15th century Chinese.
Is it?
It says here, a single specimen went at auction recently for 10,000 guineas.
What?
So a pair?
Don't tell me. Get the police. I need a drink.
Right. Are we ready?
They say how long they'd be.
Well, he said he'd come at once. I explained that it might be a matter of life or death.
It might be a matter of 10,000 guineas.
Ah.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Major. I couldn't find my clips. I just set off with my trousers and my socks when the wife calls me back. Found my clips, you see. Now, what seems to be the matter?
Just get in. I'll explain as we go.
I'll put this in the back, shall I?
Certainly not. Lean it up against the wall. Nobody's going to pinch it. Take a shortcut through Hallows Farm.
That's private property.
That's right.
Jack! Well, or never.
The jar? I can't see.
Never mind the jar. Help me untie him.
Just a moment, sir. Is the day of the supernatural over? Not quite. Especially when tricked out in new scientific language. Kindest regards from Thelly's invalid father and myself. Yours ever, Ambrose Lavington, Doctor of the Soul.
Oh, wake at last, are you?
Oh, Uncle George.
Feeling all right?
Yes. How long have I been?
Oh, about 15 hours. Nearly lunchtime. I'm afraid Lavington and his accomplices got away.
What? Accomplices?
I'm sorry, old boy. I'm afraid you've been conned.
Not Felice.
It was my blue jar they were after. Worth a small fortune, apparently.
Oh, what a damn fool I've been.
Oh, cheer up, my boy. Police are quite hopeful. Vase is too big to hide easily. They'll probably never get it out of the country. Anyway, I've still got the other one.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right. I just wish things were a bit more cheerful on the domestic front. Afraid your aunt's back.
Oh, dear.
Exactly. Well, not as cross as she might have been. Well, she couldn't be, really. She brought a female relative with her. Sort of distant cousin of yours, actually. Portia Bickerstaff.
Portia Bickerstaff? Yeah. Because I met her about 5 years ago. Awful little tyke. Pigtails and a lisp.
Yes, well, I'm sorry about this, old boy, but I'm afraid she's expecting to play golf. And not to put too fine a point on it, she's Surrey ladies champion.
No.
Couldn't agree more. Look, she wants to see you. Is it all right if I let her in?
Oh, no.
Well, look, I'll rescue you after a minute or two, so you shouldn't be wasting your strength, something like that.
All right. I say, I'm sorry.
Oh, don't be so damn silly. Women, what?
Come in.
Hello, Cousin Jack. May I call you Jack?
Portia. Gosh.
What? Yes. Oh, yes, do.